We're in Warner Robins, Georgia, the Southeastern Regional on the road to Williamsport in the Little League World Series. Game 3 of the day, Alabama set to battle North Carolina. Halfway through this first day of competition, and already Georgia and Virginia have punched their tickets into the winner's bracket. Tennessee, West Virginia will play in the first game tomorrow. We're moving right along on the road to crown a champion. Welcome inside the booth, everybody. Great to have you with us. Drew Felios alongside the former Pittsburgh Pirates catcher, Mike LaValliere. Mike, coming into this game, Alabama going to be a heavy underdog against a North Carolina team that advanced to Williamsport last year.
Yeah, whenever you're the defending champ, you've already got a target on your back. They've got experience. They've had guys that came back and told them about their experience. These North Carolina kids, they want to get back.
All right, let's take a look at this Alabama team led by Aiden Malpass, who will have to play really big. He's a center fielder. He's got all sorts of speed.
Well, Aiden Malpass is a 5-tool player. He's their leadoff guy, so if he gets on the bases, he can wreak some havoc. He's got power plus. He's got, like I said, he's got speed. He can hit the ball for average and play some tremendous defense.
And for North Carolina, North State Little League, Will DeLonzo leading off the center fielder. He'll lead the way.
Well, affectionately known as Dizo to his teammates, Will has been on fire. 8 home runs in his last 9 games. He, again, a lot of power, leadoff hitter. So if he goes, they go.
North Carolina getting ready for Alabama. Alabama wearing those sharp gold uniforms. First pitch coming up from Warner Robins in just a moment. Alabama and North Carolina just moments away from the start here in Warner Robins at the Little League Southeastern Regional. Drew Felios with Mike LaValliere. Take a look at the pitcher for North Carolina. Marcus Bird gets the ball here today.
Yeah, Marcus Bird, good firm fastball, middle to upper 60s. An excellent curveball, 2-pitch pitcher. If he needs a strikeout today, probably going to look at that hook.
They call him the Birdman. Marcus Bird. Can't wait to watch him do his thing. Aiden Malpass leads things off for Alabama. He's followed by Tucker Arrington, Camden Nunley, the shortstop, Reese Mims hits cleanup. Jake Trent in the 5-hole. Brody Stacy, Carson Acker, John Martin Williamson, and Joseph Roberto at the bottom of the order. He's the right fielder. So Malpass starts things for McCalla Little League out of Bessemer, Alabama. So Bessemer, Alabama is the actual address for this McCalla Little League, but most of these young men hailing from Helena and Hoover, really suburbs of Birmingham and that Alabama area. And talk about this Alabama program, Mike, McCalla Little League. It is right in the heart of where a tremendous athlete by the name of Bo Jackson came out of in the early 80s, and what an athlete he turned out to be.
I had the pleasure of playing with Bo. After his hip surgery, so not quite as good as he was, but I tell you one thing, just as good as you've ever seen in two sports.
Colin West takes care of that hot shot at shortstop. Get a look at this defense for North Carolina. Starting the outfield with Tyler Sparrow, Will DeLonzo, and Will Bunting in right. The third baseman, Elpers. Shortstop West made that catch. Boehm at second, Smith at first. Jackson Bunch is the catcher. Tucker Arrington for Alabama. Mike, when you say had the pleasure of playing against Bo Jackson, was it really a pleasure?
Well, played with him and played against him.
Oh, okay.
Probably the only time that I felt a little, let's call some nervousness. Mr. Jackson was on second base during spring training. We're playing down in Fort Myers when he was with the Royals. And I was keen to think, if there's a play at the plate, how tough am I going to be? And I figured, well, it was spring training, and if there was going to be a base hit to play at home, I was going to offer Mr. Jackson the plate.
Yeah, still regarded one of the greatest athletes of all time. One now to Arrington. He'll take one high and outside.
And when you talk about five-tool guys, here's a guy who has tremendous arm. See him throw out a player for the Yankees, Mike Gallego, who ran okay. Threw him out at third base on a fly ball to right field that was probably 10 feet off the warning track. Then watched him hit a home run 444 feet to the opposite field. I mean, the guy was just unbelievable with the amount of talent he had.
Arrington trots down to first. Alabama's got a base runner with Camden Nunley coming up to the plate. Had a really low-scoring game, 1-0 duel in our first contest. Virginia, West Virginia, 12-5 game with Virginia coming out on top. Nunley puts it in play right back to Bird. He'll go with the easy one at second. And there's two away.
Well, good job, Marcus Bird. A lot of times we see early in ball games, you might see some nerves. But that time, just really took his time, made sure and got the out at second base. And I always tell my younger players, when you have a chance, make sure you get one out. If you get two, huge bonus. But too many times, kids are trying to get two outs before they catch the ball, end up getting no outs.
Now it's Mims, the cleanup hitter. Pitcher duel here. So Reese Mims will get the ball for this McCalla Little League team. Reese has got crazy power. If he gets a hold of one, look out. Jam that time. Able to foul it off.
More of a self-defense swing. Not so sure if he doesn't swing at that, it doesn't hit him.
This McCalla Little League, only 4 years old. Had a lot of success early on. This one right back to Bird, though. He's going to take care of things to end the threat for McCalla Little League. So McCalla down. And now North State Little League from North Carolina coming up.
first inning for Alabama. There were no runs scored on no hits. There were no North Carolina errors, and there was one runner left on base. Pitch count stands 14. Fans, volunteers will be running through the stadium during the game selling 50-50 raffle tickets. The winner receives half of the money collected. The other half is used to help provide amenities to the teams during the tournament. Tickets are either $1 for one ticket, $5 for 7 tickets, or $20 for 30 tickets. The winning ticket will be drawn following the fourth inning. We appreciate your continued support of Little League Baseball and Softball.
Just perfect sliding conditions today out on that berm here in Warner Robins. It's Alabama and North Carolina just underway. Reese Mims handed the ball from McCullough Little League. 13 years old. He is a big kid. His favorite athlete, J.J. Watt.
And a good fastball for Reese. Some movement on it. And 65, 68 mile an hour fastball. Good curveball, good changeup, but for the most part, you know, his whole success stems from controlling every one of his pitches, throwing them all for strikes, mixing speeds, and staying aggressive.
There's the lineup for North Carolina. Will DeLonzo leading off, Cole Smith second, Colin West, Tyler Sparrow, followed by Bird, Jackson Bunch, Will Bunting, James Elpers, and Ian Bain. North State Little League representing North Carolina. That's in Greenville, North Carolina. Home of the ECU Pirates. Great sports town. They love Little League baseball in Greenville. They've got $1 million stadium on the premises, Mike, and these young kids, they walk around like rock stars in Greenville. You have so many people that care about Little League baseball. That produces great players, great programs, great teams. DeLonzo to lead things off, and he takes a strike.
Yeah, the list of volunteers both on and off the field associated with Little League is staggering, and so many caring folks all around the world.
That's what it takes. Will DeLonzo got your favorite nickname, Diesel.
Little fade to that fastball, going away from Diesel, trying to get away from his power.
Base runner aboard for North Carolina. DeLonzo draws the walk, and he's going to run to second. Nobody covering there. And how about that heads-up base running?
Well, this is just an instinctive play. I'm sure he's done it before. Can absolutely fly. And all he does is go down to first base, take a peek at the middle infielders. They don't move. Then he does.
He had his eye on that second baseman right as he was approaching first. Heads up play by DeLonzo. Cole Smith now for North Carolina.
And just the thing that can really get in the mind of a pitcher. This is where Reese Mims needs to concentrate.
This is hit into left field. It's going to be a tough play, but John Martin Williamson is up for it as he makes the grab for the first out. We get a look at the Alabama defense for the first time. John Martin Williamson in left, Aiden Malpass in center, Joseph Roberto in right, The third baseman's Jake Trent. Camden Nunley, the shortstop. Brody Stacy at second. Arrington at first, and Carson Acker behind the plate. Ninth pitch for Reese Mims. Bunt put down perfectly. Trent can't handle it. And runners now in the corners. Trying to induce that throw, and another heads-up play by North Carolina, and Colin West taking second base.
Well, we get experience here. North Carolina, nice bunt. I don't think he would have had a chance to get him, even if it was fielded cleanly by Trent. But once that happens, all Colin West does, same thing that Dizzo did. Take a look, nobody covering, go ahead and take the base.
Just have the feeling, Mike, that throughout the afternoon, North Carolina is going to really make this Alabama defense think and work throughout this entire game. Sparrow watches one outside. And I think North Carolina knows it. You got a team that is the defending champions coming in. Played a lot of baseball together. Alabama, very talented, Mike, but a lot of the Alabama players do play some different sports. They've had limited practice time coming in, and North Carolina gonna really try push all their buttons here.
And just a little bit of a coaching lesson out there. You know, you've got to be able to handle yourselves, and that's where I really am all about our team. We don't worry about the other team. We do what we do best, and we just don't stop until the time's up or game's over.
Hit hard into left center field. It's a base hit. First run of the game for North State Little League. Trying to add a second, and it's 2-0.
And you see North Carolina, they are just going to run the bases. Here, ideally, that ball should come into the cutoff man and hold that runner. But once that throw started going to second base, no problem for the third base coach. Go ahead and wave Colin West in.
Marcus Bird now steps in. Going to get an early visit here. Look at the line on Marcus Bird. This North Carolina team talked about how they were defending champs, advancing to Williamsport last year. But guess what? This is a completely different team than what they had a season ago. Not one returning player for this North State Little League. So experience as a program getting to Williamsport, but individually, these young men have not tasted it, but they saw what their predecessors did, and they want a piece as well.
And not only saw, but they heard firsthand accounts. Hey, I met this guy. Hey, I met that big leaguer. Hey, can you believe that this guy spent time with us? You know, these are the kinds of things that, you know, you always want to win, but now whenever you hear that, it's a little more incentive. Hey, you know what? My buddy got a chance to do it. Now I want a chance to do it.
Home plate umpire, Juan Romero. One ball, one strike, confirms the count. And did he go that time? Yes, he did. He's strike two. Got him swinging high for strike three.
Well, good job by Mims. Kind of getting back into it. Had a couple things not go his way early. But it's always good to get that second out after some chaos happens out there.
Jackson Bunch takes a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jackson's the catcher for this North Carolina program. One of those hard-nosed players. Love to watch. Wild pitch this time from Mims. Tyler Sparrow takes second base. Sparrow with a big 2 RBI base hit. North State in an early lead here. Two for Mims. Another foul ball. Oh, how about that catch?
Wow.
Was that Jim in right field making an amazing grab?
Our first base guy giving us a little wave like, yeah, no big thing. Here's instant replay. Just reaches over. Yeah, it's like I'm in the apple orchard. I'll just take one of these.
Oh. Jackson Bunch going to shake that one off.
Now, lucky for him, that was a breaking ball, but second time we've seen that got some shoulder, got some ear flap. Looks like he's okay.
Timeout called on the field.
And they're still seeing if Jackson Bunch is okay down at third base. Or down at first base, rather.
Here's Will Bunting.
North Carolina trying to see if they can get some guys in motion on defense. Find out exactly if someone's going to cover third base. Alabama handled that okay.
Took a little bit off that one. And it's right down the pipe for a strike.
That's a good off-speed pitch.
The 0-2. Will Bunting, the guy at the plate for North Carolina. Coaching staff say he's athletic. He's got big play potential. Hasn't really had that big moment yet, but they feel that this tournament should be his time. Not this time, though, as Reese Mims hangs in there and able to take care of North Carolina in the first. North State Little League gets 2, and we head to the second.
The pitch count stands at 28. Fans, be sure to make your way to the gift shop located on the third base side of the concourse. You will find a wide assortment of merchandise and souvenirs, including tournament roster shirts, Southeastern Region apparel, collectible pins, and much more. Additionally, you can find the tournament program that includes the official tournament roster insert and official scorecards.
North State Little League, a 2-0 lead over McCalla Little League out of Alabama. North Carolina, defending champions. They won in 2017. Had the magical run in Williamsport as well. And I remember that team, Mike. They were just so solid from start to finish. Rarely made a mistake. Here they were taking on Georgia. Georgia was outstanding last year as well, dealing with the highs and the lows. Remember Jace Blaylock, the kid who just scored there? He hit one into the trees last year. And a shot that made SportsCenter. But North Carolina was so good, so balanced, and just too much in the end.
North Carolina is going back to the Little League World Series.
Yeah, you're talking about a team that had just a little bit of everything. Had power, they had speed, they had pitching, they had depth. Again, and that's how you win this tournament. You're not going to win it with one player. You're not going to win it with two. You got to have contributions throughout the lineup. Each and every one have to contribute.
Jake Trent leads it off in the second inning. This is game 3 of a 4-game day. 4 games scheduled for tomorrow as well. 2 games on Sunday. Long road here to Williamsport. Marcus Bird on the mound for North Carolina. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jake Trent. Ball drops right there, a little inside for ball 2. There's a strike. Beautiful pitch.
Yeah, pitch before set that up. Slow breaker ball that just missed. And take a peek. Here's a fastball. Probably looking breaking ball. Tough pitch.
Another good pitch. That's got good movement on it. Brody Stacy didn't know what to do with it. Oh, another one. Gets him that time. Second hit batter we've had here thus far.
Now Brody Stacy right on top of home plate. Just leans into it. He'll take one for the team. Much easier said than done, by the way.
Carson Acker's turn. Acker with a big swing and a miss. Coach has talked about Carson as an athlete. He's very cerebral. There's an example right there. Just calmly puts it into left field. Alabama trying to return the favor to North Carolina here in the second. First and second with 1 out.
There's a situation where Brody Stacy kind of lost sight of where the ball was, but nice line shot. Sparrow got it in quickly enough, but the ball came into the middle of the infield, and Marcus Bird couldn't handle it. Chance maybe if you stay on the ball of advancing. We saw what kind of success North Carolina had in the previous inning, taking advantage, and that's something that Alabama could have right there.
On attempt goes foul. John Martin Williamson, the 8-hole batter, up for McCalla Little League. I mentioned earlier on in this tournament, as the 0-1 pitch taken low and inside, that there was one player in this tournament that went by the nickname of Yoda. And guess what? This young man, John Martin Williamson, is the guy. And there's Yoda in attendance here in Warner Robins. John Martin wears that nickname very proudly. And he got the nickname, Mike, because he's not very tall in stature, but he is so tough. This young Williamson, stocky, strong, embraces his attributes. Definitely going to be a factor later on in this game. Joseph Roberto.
This is where, if you're Alabama, you really like to see your number 9 guy come up with a big hit. 2-out hits are huge. Good swing at that.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Marcus Bird trying to get North Carolina back to the dugout. First and second for Alabama. Pulls the string on that one. Roberto way ahead of it. North Carolina, good start for North State Little League. Coming up at the bottom of the second when we come back.
Stands at 31. Avery Sports Photo is the official photographer of the 2018 Southeastern Regional Tournaments. Be sure to visit their booth on the concourse to view their game photos and the creative work they can do for your child and your team.
And Warner Robins, would you like to play Little League or volunteer in your local community? Visit playlittleLeague.org and enter your address to find a Little League program near you. It's a great experience, teaches life lessons.
Yeah, I think it's, it's American rite of passage, to play your Little League. Whether you go on any further remains to be seen, but I know it's one of the first times you get a chance to be part of a team. You have an understanding of how to get along with folks, and it's just a great stepping stone. I know for myself, I remember it like it's yesterday. It was a long time ago yesterday, but again, it was something that you had such a great experience with it. It just was absolutely one of the cornerstones of my my career.
James Helper's leading things off for North Carolina. Reese Mims on the hill from McCollum Little League in Alabama. That one's going to miss high. Three balls, 1 strike here. Helpers watches another one. trots down to first base.
Coming to the plate for North Carolina, the second baseman, number 10, Ian Bain.
It's going to bring up Ian Bain. Ian, the defensive specialist for North State Little League. North Carolina, coached by Chris Young. Also Jacob Allen, Mike Vaughn pitching in. Chris Young, the first base coach right now on the field. Jacob Allen's the pitching coach. Mike Vaughn is on third base, so he's the guy you just saw for North Carolina. Right there is Chris Young. Chris Young is the eternal optimist. No matter what situation this North Carolina team is in, Mike, he always assures the kids, the coaches, hey, we're right where we want to be. This game is ours for the taking. Coaches say that kids really feed off that. And I think that is so big in sports in general when you're dealing with youngsters. Just stay positive. Get them to feel good, and the results will be amazing.
Obviously run into a lot of different players, parents, and a lot of the future of baseball is really given to these little league coaches. Again, they're volunteers. They give their time. They give their effort. A lot of times they give their money, and really have a very impressionable role in these young players.
Bain, a big cut, but it's into the catcher's mitt for a strikeout.
We'll take a look how we get that strikeout. Good hard fastball up above the belt. So difficult to lay off of. But again, our home plate umpire, Juan Romero Sr., has been calling that high pitch, so you have to protect and take a swat at it whenever it's up there.
Ball popped up. John Martin Williamson's got one put away today, but that one just kind of got caught up in the air. Did some funny tricks up there, and it falls in front of him.
Well, opposite field, ball was way up in the air. A lot of spin. You've got the sun, high sky, a number of things working against the young fella.
Now Cole Smith's turn. Smith popped out his last time up. Hit hard, center field, mile pass, gonna take a few steps back and puts it away.
Yeah, great read, great instincts in center field. Aiden Malpass, as soon as the ball was hit, just an absolute rocket right at him and just handled it easily.
The shortstop, number 8, Colin West.
Second at bat now for Colin West with 2 down. I think it'd be huge for Alabama to get out of this inning, not allowing any more damage. Coming back up to bat in the top of the 3rd. That ball's going to get away though. Carson Acker tracks it down, but runners to advance. Charlie Blizzard, the pinch runner for North Carolina. He came in for James Elpers after the Elpers walk. Strike 2 to Colin West.
Yeah, 2-out hits. 2-out hits are what championships are made of, Drew, and there's a situation, if you can hold them, if you're Alabama, big shot in the arm. Conversely, if you can hit it from North Carolina, really putting a little bit more of a hold on this game.
Big pitch coming up here. Got him, swinging. Alabama able to fend off North Carolina. Good job by Reese Mims, who is battling right now. McCalla Little League coming up.
There were 2 runners left on base. Pitch count stands at 48. Hey, Little League fans. Cannon and Little League are teaming up for the 5th picture-perfect season in a row. Head to the Cannon booth to print your all-star photos and share them on the Great Wall of Fandom. You can also design a cheer sign and grab a baseball scorecard to make this the best season yet, courtesy of Cannon Bessemer printers.
Alabama able to hold off North Carolina in the 2nd inning. 2-0 the score. Drew Felios with Mike LaVollier, the former Pittsburgh Pirates catcher. Warner Robins, Georgia, day 1 of competition. Mike, we have so much fun at this event, year in and year out. Also get a chance to talk a little baseball. Your Pittsburgh Pirates pulling off a nice trade with the Tampa Bay Rays. Chris Archer heading up to your neck of the woods up there. You like the deal?
I think it should be a good trade for both teams. Chris Archer, arguably a number 1, number 2 frontline starter, somebody that Pittsburgh Pirates could use right now. They gave up a couple of kids, though, that have tremendous potential. Austin Meadows and Tyler Glasnow. And Glasnow's got Cy Young type of stuff, and it's just a matter if he can get it going in the big leagues.
Aiden Malpass now. Leading things off for Alabama. He has got a stroke. That is going to go to the wall, and Aiden can fly around the base pass. He is on 3rd in the blink of an eye, and Alabama with a leadoff triple.
Well, first baseman Cole Smith, this ball I think was by him by the time he got that glove down there. No chance for Will Bunting and right field to cut it off, and once it got to the fence, easily into 3rd was Malpass. And here's where Alabama they have to go ahead and cash in on this.
Harrington puts it in play. Stepping on first is Cole Smith with Malpass. The first run of the game for McCalla Little League.
Well, probably the best choice, Cole Smith. Ball hit not very hard, kind of up in the air. Go ahead and get that out. Start over for the inning. You give up a run to get the out. Not such a bad thing whenever you're up by a couple.
Nunley up the middle for a base hit. Alabama starting to really swing the bats well.
And sneak a peek, that ball middle. Nice short stroke. Not trying to do too much with it.
Now home run power coming up in the form of Reese Mims. Takes it off the helmet that time. It's the third hit batter we've had in this game.
Yeah, all of them off the helmet. This is another breaking ball. This gets him in the visor.
First visit to the mound for North Carolina. Jacob Allen out there, the pitching coach, instructing his team. And Coach Allen, Coach Young, Mike Vaughn as well, the ones who raved about the experience North Carolina had last year in Williamsport, meeting the great Jessica Mendoza, David Ross on hand as well, Aaron Boone for ESPN. Just glowing as they describe the experience in Williamsport as Caleb Higgins comes into pinch run at first base for McConnell Little League. Another ball put in play. It's a tough play for Bird. He's got nowhere to go with it.
Yeah, a situation where little communication, especially coming from your catcher at that point where you become really quarterback of the infield. Here you got to be screaming 1-1, 1-1-1. Once you read that third baseman coming away from his bag, I think he would have had a chance to get him at first base, but there was no way that the shortstop was going to beat that runner.
Great situation for Alabama, and they are cashing in right now. Base hit up the middle. Alabama rolling as Nunley scores, and we are all tied at 2.
Yeah, a little interesting with one out, infield playing in, bases loaded. I'm having to think that if they're playing back, they might have a chance at least getting one out in that situation. But again, a little aggressive with the defense and ended up burning them.
So Brody Stacy comes through for Alabama, and now Carson Acker, his second time up. A little bit shocked over what we've seen now. Alabama able to sort of hold off that opening onslaught of North Carolina offense, and now Alabama looks like a really confident bunch.
Yeah, each tournament, about every team has adversity at some point. You know, it's a situation where North Carolina, obviously, things aren't going their way, but you have to tip your cap. Alabama just putting the ball in play, taking advantage of everything that North Carolina's given them.
Acker reaches the bat out and foul this one away. Alabama fans right now pretty excited inside Little League Southeast Park. Marcus Bird right now, it's the 46th pitch. He's going to throw. Bases loaded. Chop foul again. Carson Acker with a base hit his last time up. One out in the third. Acker into right field. Charging in is Will Bunting. And a nice throw home is going to hold everybody.
Well, good job, Carson Acker, putting the ball in play. Tough breaking ball down and away. Wasn't quite far enough to score Caleb Higgins. Will Bunting throw right there.
Entering for number 12, John Martin Williamson, and now batting is number 33, Gregory Strickland.
First pinch hitter of the game for Alabama, Greg Strickland, comes up here with 2 down. Nice block that time by Jackson Bunch.
Higgins had notions of trying to score on that ball, but well done, Bunch. Tough pitch, fastball in the dirt, nice block.
Strickland, big swing, a little bit too late. Mike, you're only going to get so many of these opportunities with the bases loaded. Alabama a strike away from this threat ending.
And nice off-speed pitch. Marcus Bird, good fastball the previous pitch, now in a nice hook.
Got him. Great job by Marcus Bird to rebound after Alabama was able to get 2. 2-2 your score going to the bottom of the third here in Warner Robins.
The pitch out stands at 51. Fans, our concession stand is stacked with hardworking volunteers and has a wide assortment of food and drink available, including fresh brewed sweet tea. Be sure to visit and pick up a burger, hot dog, some popcorn, candy, or a drink.
Alabama, North Carolina tied at 2. And how about Alabama? The bats coming alive. 4 base hits. 2 errors. Right now hanging in with the defending champions here in the Southeastern Regional. Tyler Sparrow had a big 2 RBI base hit for North Carolina his last time up. He leads off the 3rd inning.
And I think North Carolina's got to feel rather fortunate. The little trickery with their base running, a little aggression in order to get those 2 runs. They've only gotten 1 hit off of Reese Mims, so it's something that their offense they need to pick it up.
Reese Mims started out a little bumpy, but he has settled in. Taking low this time. Sparrow hits it right to 3rd. Jake Trent gloves it and throws over to 1st for the 1st out.
Running to the plate for North Carolina, the pitcher, number 20, Marcus Bird.
Nice play by Trent, 3rd base. Jake Trent is the comedian of this Alabama team. Always need a few of those guys to sort of lighten the mood as the Birdman, Marcus Bird, comes up to the dish.
And Marcus, one of the players that if he gets his pitch and runs into one, he really can hit it a long way.
Right back up the middle. It's going to ricochet off. The pitcher's still playable. Out at first base. Camden Nunley very patient over there. This is a play that could be reviewable.
Well, let's take a look at it before it goes up in the booth. Ball just a little bit off the shin. Good job by Nunley.
Saw immediately Chris Young. Young was right there, had a good look at it. Thought that Bird had beat the throw. And we're going to have our first review of the day, and this is where our expert camera crew really comes into play.
I tell you, and you know, we look at it here so close. We've got obviously replay, slow motion, we've got it all.
Now the look right there, Mike, is that he beat that throw. See if we can see more definitively. Yeah, the foot's on the bag there. You can see just before the ball was in the mitt. That's just what I'm seeing, though. That's not necessarily what our great umpiring staff is seeing, or what you're seeing as well.
Well, you know, and whenever you see this in a major league game, you know, this is what happens. Those really close plays, they've got to look at a bunch of different angles in order to go ahead and overturn. There's going to be the call.
There you go.
And it's overturned. And you know, and that's the one thing. These volunteer umpires, you know, they don't like to have any of their calls overturned. But I tell you, we had 4 different angles at it, 3 different angles at it. We had slow motion, and we still had to see it 3 or 4 times. These guys don't get the luxury of that we do.
Jackson Bunch here with 1 out, and Bird's going to take second. So I'm going to ask you this, Mike, just all together in baseball in general, do you like challenges, period? Or are you kind of old school, you like the human element?
Well, you know, I like the human element, but I also like the fact that, you know, if challenges are used in the spirit of where they're intended, then I'm good with that. But there are too many big league managers that take advantage of the system. I don't like that part of it.
Gotcha.
But you know, you've got to have some give and take in it. I see the merits. You don't want to lose a game because of error, but in the same token, all over the course of baseball, it's happened.
Sure. Strikeout, Jackson Bunch down on strikes. Charlie Blizzard now going to come up for North Carolina with 2 down. So Charlie Blizzard, pinch hitter here in the 3rd. North Carolina trying to take the lead once again. I'll tell you what, I'm really surprised at how well Reese Mims has hung in for Alabama. I thought that he was going to be in store for a long day in that first inning, but Reese has really been impressive here, and got to hand it to the big fella. Now a pitch away from getting Alabama to the dugout. They have got the momentum right now.
And get yourselves in situations where you have an opportunity to shine, you know, in a national spotlight, you know, here on ESPN Plus. You learn a lot about yourself, and you learn you know what, I need to become a better player, both mentally and physically. This right here is a test for the young man, and so far, he's passing.
That one got away from him just a bit. Full count now to Charlie Blizzard. 2 outs here, bottom of the third. Mims' pitch fouled back.
Well, good job by Charlie Blizzard there. Borderline pitch, could have been called strike 3. Fouled it off, got another chance.
Got him swinging. Reese Mims doing his thing for Alabama. They're hanging in with the defending champions, all tied at 2.
Pitch now stands at 66. Changes for North Carolina. Now playing first base is number 20, Marcus third. Down on the mound, number 12, Cole Smith.
Little League Southeast Park in Warner Robins, Georgia. Special Little League dimensions, 46 feet pitcher's mound to home plate and 60 feet between the base paths, 225 to all parts of the ballpark from home plate. And let's kind of put it up against PNC Park, big league ballpark up in Pittsburgh. And you see 14 feet more from pitcher's mound to home plate, 90 feet instead of 60 between the base paths, and of course those dimensions in the power alleys a lot deeper.
Well, the whole comparison thing, it's roughly about 2/3 of what the big league guys play on, and obviously we're symmetrical here, 225, left field pole to right field pole, PNC Park, which is one of the most beautiful places that I've been to. It has some different little corners in it, but all these Little League ballparks here, nice and symmetrical.
New pitcher is Cole Smith for North Carolina, who replaces Marcus Bird here in the 4th.
Well, Big Cole, good fastball. Velocity, much like Marcus Bird, upper 60s, plus curveball, and a changeup. He likes to use that curveball for a strikeout pitch.
And for Alabama, the batter, pinch hitting role now for Ty Strickland. Ty is the son of assistant coach Randy Strickland. Ty hits it hard into right field for a base hit. So Alabama again with their leadoff runner aboard, and Strickland is another guy who has really shown some intestinal fortitude this season, just back to 100% after tearing the main tendon in his ankle, Spanky. Great to see him on the field here today. Had to wear a cast for 3 weeks. to get that ankle up to speed. His father, Randy Strickland, said that really set him back. He battled it. He said, "Dad, I'm going to be there when it counts." So now the most dangerous hitter in the lineup, Aiden Malpass, tripled his last time up.
Showing him some respect. Break the ball the first 2 pitches. Trying to pick that outside corner.
Inside for a strike.
Good fastball. 2 off-speed pitches on the outside corner and then busted him in with that fastball.
Another strike, 2-2.
Same pitch. I got to take a look, and he doesn't offer it the first 2. I'm going to go ahead and throw it again.
Malpass hits it high and deep, and it is gone! First home run of this Little League Southeastern Regional belongs to Aiden Malpass, and it is a big 2-run shot.
Well, he tried to throw the same pitch, tried to get it inside, and this is what happens when you don't hit your spot. High fastball out of the zone. Aiden Malpass gets his hands up above. He knew as soon as he hit it. Long gone, and this Alabama squad really making some noise against our defending champs.
Cole Smith going to try and shake that one off. That's a tough break there for North Carolina. How about Aiden Malpass? A huge triple and now a home run. Mike, you highlighted him in the pregame. You picked the right guy. He has just been awesome.
Yeah, kind of easy talking with their coaches because, yeah, they just said, this kid's special. He's got incredible talents. Does so many things well.
Two balls, 1 strike now. Alabama with their first lead of the day. Check swing that time. And Arrington has a 3-1 count now. Arrington with a walk and a ground out here today. So 0 for 1. The 3-2 from Cole Smith. Just missed.
Well, right now Cole Smith's got to take a big old deep breath and collect himself. 3 hitters faced, hasn't get a chance to record an out yet. Base hit, homer, now a walk. Got to make a big pitch right here. Get an out at this hitter.
John Martin Williamson checks into the game. Yoda on the field for Alabama.
For Alabama, the shortstop, number 10, Camden Nunley.
Camden Nunley now steps in. Good contact, and this one is into left field. Oh, a little confused though at second. John Martin Williamson's going to get a break here. He's going to turn for third. What an adventure that play was as Looked like Williamson thought that maybe that ball was caught at third because he went back. But North Carolina couldn't capitalize on the base running gap.
Well, I have to say it here. I think Yoda used some secret powers. The force was with him on that. But yeah, diving try by Elpers at third base. Couldn't quite come up with it, and then North Carolina, little careless, taking care of the ball. And very fortunate from Alabama, which should have been a force out at second base. Turns into second and third, and still nobody out.
Hit hard to the shortstop. Play it home. This one's going to be off. Another run for Alabama, and tack on another. Alabama on fire right now, leading 6-2.
Well, here you get your shortstop playing deep. That's an awfully tough play with your shortstop playing back on the grass. Try to get that play at home. Two options for him right there. You look the guy back at second base, get you out at first base, or you just throw it to first. You know, that's really that's asking an awful lot of your shortstop to try to make that long throw home with that guy barreling in from third.
There's a lot of people in this stadium right now that are shocked. McCullough Little League in only their fourth year of existence right now. 6-2 over the defending champions of this Southeastern Regional. See the faces on some of the North Carolina parents. Can't believe what they're watching. Jackson Thomas now for Alabama. This Alabama team, Mike, they have got some big kids. Their coaches told us, we know one thing. If we were to line up and this was a football game, we'd certainly win it. Because our guys look like the Alabama offensive line, the Crimson Tide. That's some big boys. Down swinging is Thomas.
Not sure what Mims was thinking about, but that's only our first out. He was taking off but getting back to the dugout.
That's been a long inning for Cole Smith. And this North Carolina defense. Let's take a look at the pitch numbers once again. And these are so critical, especially in the first day of this Southeastern Regional, because you're looking ahead at the next few days and games.
Yeah, a lot of times your decisions are based on the score of the game, and you know, here you've got North Carolina thinking, well, you know what, we need to have Cole Smith ready for tomorrow. We're down. Let's go ahead and see if we can bridge this gap with one of our other pitchers. They're pretty deep. In fact, whenever they're talking with the coaches, that's one of their strengths is their depth in their pitching staff, and they feel that they can bridge the gap, hold them right there, and try to score some runs.
The pitcher for North Carolina will be Colin West. As you get a look at the schedule, Tennessee and West Virginia will be the first game tomorrow. Both those teams coming up short. Georgia taking down Tennessee. Virginia over West Virginia. Later on tonight, South Carolina will battle Florida. That also on ESPN+. 4 games also scheduled for tomorrow. And if all goes well, 2 games coming up on Sunday. So Colin West gets the ball for North Carolina. They need him to come up big here in a big way. This one will get away. Surprise, Mike.
Now batting for Alabama, the second baseman.
North Carolina, Jackson Bunch behind the plate. Trying to just take care of the baseball right now and make the plays that they know they can make. This one's outside.
Yeah, it has a tendency to, good feeds off of itself, and so doesn't the poor play. And you see somebody kick one, now it's kind of your thought process, well, gee, I don't want to do that. Next ball gets hit to you, and then, before you know it, you've got everybody kind of walking on pins and needles instead of relaxed out there having fun.
Another ball hit hard to the shortstop on his knees. Play made at third, but just underneath the tag. Here's Reese Mims.
I think initially Ian Bem had a shot at third base. Did a great job of just getting to this ball. He just hesitated a little bit. By the time the throw got there, pretty close.
Oh, that was really close. How about the big guy getting dirty? Carson Acker steps in.
And here's a coach, good 4-run lead. Yeah, I want that 5th run. That takes you out of grand slam tie game. So that's a 5th run is a kind of a big milestone type of thing for a coach. You always want that 5th. Here you've got the option, a safety squeeze, bunt the ball to the right side, you have a chance to score your runner from third base. Or, hey, you just let them swing. These guys are swinging the bat pretty well.
Taken outside, Carson Acker. Runners on first and third. Another big inning for Alabama. 4th spot on the board and looking for more. And a walk issue. Bases will be loaded once again. Greg Strickland's turn. And a strike.
Yeah. Earlier in the inning, we had the infielders playing back. Now you take a look, and they're at halfway. Once you play halfway, gives you a little bit more range, but now you've got a much better chance of getting that runner at home plate.
Colin West trying to bear down. Strickland watches it outside. If Strickland gets a piece of this one, Mike, this could really break this game open. But never count out North Carolina, though. They're just too good.
Well, bases loaded, know where to put them. Got to force their hand right here. Got to make them hit the ball.
Strickland rips it into left field. That's going to score one. Everybody holds after that, and it's 7-2.
Well, ball wasn't hit well. It was a good swing right off the end of the bat, but perfectly placed. Runner at second base. Had to hold up, make sure they didn't catch it.
This Alabama team is something else. They come out, they trail 2-0. Coaching staff, Adam Stacy, Ron Acker, Randy Strickland, they said the biggest key for us in this tournament, can we focus, can we get up enough to play this tournament? It's the only thing know our kids are great football players. Had to balance that with baseball, and do we have enough gamesmanship to get us through this week? What a splash they have made here in this first round game, up 7-2.
One of the things that works against Alabama is tournament games. They only had to win 3 games to get here.
Exactly.
A lot of these other teams, 8, 9, 10 games.
How about this rip? It is deep, and it is going to the wall. 1 run scores. Why not 2? Strickland and Alabama pouring it on here in the top of the 4th.
Wow, Ty Strickland just absolutely hammers this ball. Ball all the way to the track. North Carolina doing a good job just to give up the 2 runs.
Pitching change going to be made. Alabama has batted around here in the 4th inning. They've put 7 runs on the scoreboard. Amazing what they have done. North Carolina trying to weather the storm.
Re-entering the game for number 4, Charlie Blizzard, and now pitching number 9, Will Bunting.
Will Bunting will be the new pitcher for North Carolina. Never would have thought North Carolina would be in a situation like this, trailing by 7 runs, 9-2. But Spanky, here they are, and I guarantee you, they're not used to this.
Well, that's they've got 9 outs on offense, and a good quality team can do an awful lot with 9 outs.
There's that guy again. He has been scary to watch. Aiden Malpass. He's got the only home run that we have seen today, and he ripped this ball.
That ball above the letters, and just great hands right there, just crushing that ball. Seems to be an issue here. The only thing I can think of right now is maybe intentional walk here and who to charge the pitches to. I don't know if okay, yeah. I'm thinking, you know what, Drew? Mandatory subs in case we get a run rule game. And I think that's one of the things that the coaches have to figure out. Once game gets a little bit out of hand, they've got to know that they've got to get their players in. There is an exception to that rule.
Umpires right now discussing that. And hard to believe we're in that situation, Mike, but it is 9-2. And there are 2 runners on, and you've got the best player, one of the best in this tournament, coming up to the dish.
And the fact is, you have Alabama they have 14 players on their roster. So they have 5 substitutes. All 5 of those players must hit.
Look at the mandatory play rules. 4th inning obligations. And Mike will let you do the honors here.
Well, there you see it, 12 or few players on the roster. And, again, Alabama has 14. So you go to the 13 or more players at the start of the game. They have to be in the lineup. Visiting team, 4th or 5th inning, or is one of the first 3 batters in the 6th inning. You don't want to have somebody that's perhaps a 4th hitter in case there's first 3 outs. If you're the home team, 4th inning. So that's what the umpires are doing right now, is to making sure that the coaches are able to handle this in case it's a run-shortened game.
North Carolina went on top 2-0 in the first inning. Looked like North Carolina was going to be cruising to another easy victory. And Alabama, the bats sort of just woke up at the top of the 3rd. Got 2 in that inning and then 7 in the 4th inning. It's what we're in right now. There's only 1 out. So Juan Romero will try and meet with our head coaches here, sort this out.
According to our books here, there are still 2 subs that need to hit for Alabama.
Yeah, and those 2 players, Reed Woods and Caleb Higgins, number 1 and number 3, need to bat immediately, if not sooner. I think that's what is being relayed here.
And again, I got to believe that in a shortened run rule game, there is an exception to that rule.
Okay.
We will get clarification.
Malpass is going to hit here for Alabama, an intentional walk. They don't want to pitch to Aiden after what he has done the last couple at bats. The big triple and the home run. Tucker Arrington's going to be the hitter.
Tucker Arrington.
So Will Bunting, bases loaded behind him. See what he can do. Arrington's big swing and a miss for strike 1.
Well, Will Bunting getting back to the pitching. He's finesse type pitcher, got to pitch ahead. His key's throwing a bunch of strikes.
Arrington puts it into right field. North Carolina again not connecting on defense as the ball gets away again. Just 1 run though will come in, so not much damage there. It's 10-2. Arrington does his job with Camden Nunley coming up.
Now ball just past first baseman Marcus Berg, couldn't come up with it. Here's the throw, trying to hit the cutoff man, but runner at third base held up by his coach.
Eight-run lead, bases still loaded. And let's see, it's going to be number 10, Camden Nunley, coming up. So if you are Alabama, Mike, you don't have to use those 2 guys until you know that you've got a 10-run lead. Being that this could be a shortened game. If a base hit happens here, 2 more runs come in, then you immediately have to go to your bench. Let Woods and Higgins do their thing.
Well, after getting clarification, special rule, whenever you have a run rule game, you do not have to get all of your players in. I'm sure that if we do go to the 5th inning, his players will have to get in there. But again, we're not done out of this anyway.
Sure.
It's an 8-run game. The run rule is 10 runs after 4 innings. North Carolina will be allowed to hit. But again, it's a moot point unless Alabama comes up with a couple more runs.
Now it's bunting. This one fouled back. And Mike, thank you for the clarification. Also, Jen Colvin comes over from Little League, Southeastern director. Three to two. Will Bunting still trying to get North Carolina into the dugout.
Now this has to be just absolutely stunning for North Carolina, and stunning in a bad way.
Nunley hanging in.
Nunley having himself a great little at-bat right here. And to me, it becomes advantage hitter the more pitches you see.
Oh, that one missed high. And it's a walk issued to Nunley. Another run for this McCalla Little League.
Entering the game for number 18, Bruce Mims, and now batting is number 3,
Caleb Higgins. One of those youngsters off the bench gets to swing a bat now. They'll watch him on. A little bit high, called for a strike. Hit hard to the shortstop. Force it home. Tough play, and he's safe. They do throw over to third. Get the force out there.
Yeah, Tucker Arrington kind of became a spectator on that play. Ground ball short, nice job. Bame on the way home. Couldn't get the speedy Malpass, but Arrington did not try to advance in the regular old force play. That goes shortstop to catcher to third base.
So, 10-run rule is going to be in effect in the bottom half of this inning.
Entering the game for number 42, Jackson Thomas, and now batting.
Fourth inning at 10 runs, separating Alabama and North Carolina right now. This is the absolute last scenario that we thought we would be in coming into this game. Alabama, the major surprise here in the first round. Bunting's pitch put to the shortstop. Force out at second, and that will finally do it. North Carolina needs a run, or else they're headed to the loser's bracket. Alabama leading 12-2.
Alabama, there were 10 runs scored on 7 hits. There were 2 North Carolina errors, and there was 1 runner left on base. Pitch count stands at 20. Fans, you have 3 outs left to purchase your 50-50 raffle tickets. Volunteers will be traveling through the stands one last time before the winning ticket is pulled at the end of this inning.
We invite you to catch all the excitement of the Little League World Series, including how to visit Williamsport, scores, stats, highlights, and more. Visit littleleague.org. Follow along on social media with hashtag LLWS. 10-run lead for Alabama. North Carolina, you see the expression on some of the North State Little League fans, just shocked here at what has transpired. See right there, South Carolina getting ready to take on Florida a little bit later on tonight. But North Carolina needs a run here, Mike. And Henry Phelps will lead it off. Phelps coming in off the bench for North Carolina. Reese Mims on the hill, got a nice rest courtesy of his offense. This is 70th pitch and a strike.
And sometimes that works against you, having to sit in there for too long. Mims immediately 3-0. See if he can get back in the count.
Big pitch by Mims, called a strike. Catcher doesn't glove it, but throws over to first base for the out.
Well, it's a couple times that Mims has done that, gone 3-0 and got himself back into the count. Ends up throwing 3 straight strikes.
J.J. Myrick will get an at-bat here. J.J. Myrick, one of those great stories of North State Little League. He was a guy that did not make Little League his first year when he was trying, but kept at it. Become a great player for this North State Little League team. Quick chat.
And a little reminder that trying to get your pitcher to bear down. You do not, whatever you do, relax. This other team's too good to let them back in the ballgame.
Not many pitches to work with either. That was the message. Myrick hits it hard to second base. Got some speed. Throw to first is in time.
Well, Brody Stacy at second base does a great job. Ball hit right on the button. Myrick with good speed, but the biggest thing, he did not panic. Knocked the ball down, stayed with it, made a good strong throw to first.
Will Delonzo runs out of the dugout. And right now, I think there's a little confusion because if Will Delonzo, if he is pinch hit for, I'm not sure Chris Young is aware of the rule that we sort of second guessed ourselves on, that you do not have to sub everybody in here in a shortened game. You got to have your main guns up here, Mike, because this is your last shot.
And I think Chris Young right now is trying to make sure. And none of these coaches want to. Okay.
Oh, and it looks like number 2, Matt Conway, is going to hit here.
Entering the game for number 15, Will Alonso. And now batting is number 2, Matt Conway.
So Matt Conway gonna get his first chance. Favorite show, Family Feud. Maybe the best game show of all time. Conway hits it hard up the middle. Great job, Matt.
That's one thing that, as a player, you don't want to make the last out.
No way.
You know, whether you're coming in to pinch hit, you know, whether you've been in the ball game and had 4 hits, that's the last thing you want to do is make that last out. And here, nice base hit, solid base hit up the middle.
Conway does his job. Reese Mims still looking for that final out. Approaching 80 pitches. Cole Smith will be the batter now. D'Alonzo does come back in to run at first base. So the speed of Will aboard. He's got to somehow find a way to come home, keep this game going.
Unbelievable. Play by Carson Acker. It's as athletic as you're going to find behind the dish.
Swing and a miss.
One of the better breaking balls and that we've seen from Reese Mims. Really off balance was Cole Smith.
Ball bounces right in front of Smith. D'Alonzo now to second. Critical pitches coming up here for Reese Mims. Carson Acker's done a great job with Reese here today. He's made all the right pitches for McCalla Little League. There's another one, and that one will do it for Alabama. What a game for Reese Mims and these young men from McCalla Little League as they shock this Southeastern Regional here in Warner Robins.
Well, defending champions get out to a nice 2-0 lead, and then from there, things just cascaded on them downwards. Hats off to this Alabama team. Came out, swung the bats, took advantage. Maybe a wake-up call for North Carolina. I think they're going to make some noise before they're through. This is a very, very good ball club, but today I think Alabama was just, they were ready. They came in, you know, just we got nothing to lose. They came out and just threw it out all out on the line, and you know, a lot of good things happened good for them. They were aggressive. I really like the way they played this ball club.
McCalla Little League into the winner's bracket. Alabama takes care of North Carolina, the first major upset of this Little League Southeast Regional Tournament. 12-2 the final score. Alabama outhits North Carolina 11-3. One more game later on tonight. South Carolina battles Florida, 7 Eastern Time on ESPN+. Until then, for Mike LaValliere and our awesome crew here in Warner Robins, I'm Drew Felios saying so long, and we'll see you tonight.